So let's talk about watering your trees then. Watering bonsai is an incredibly important skill to master. Without water, the trees are simply going to die. With too much water, the tree also could die. Most people who practice bonsai will tell you, and quite rightly so, that watering is a skill that takes a lot of practice to really master. Our goal from this video is simply to keep our new bonsai trees alive until it's springtime, when more jobs need to be completed to keep the tree healthy. Because of the poorly draining soil that we've got in these pots at the moment, we can't just come along each day and dump a load of water onto the tree and know that the tree is going to be healthy. There's a very real risk that if we do that, we will overwater the tree, cause distress to the roots and set the tree back, if not straight kill it. So it's important that I get into a routine where each day I'll check the trees to see if they need watering. Okay, let's go in a little bit closer then and have a look to see what kind of things we're looking for in order to determine if the tree needs some water or not. Okay, each day I'm going to check the soil of each of my trees to see if any of them need some water. So the moss on the surface of this tree is feeling quite dry, so that tells me that chances are I need to investigate further. If the moss was wet, then almost certainly the tree doesn't need watering, but because it's dry we need to investigate further. So feeling the surface of the actual soil, there's a bit of dampness to it. It feels slightly damp, but as I feel it, there's a dusty texture. That the surface of the soil feels slightly damp, but also on the dusty side, tells me that this tree does indeed need some water. If I was touching the surface and it felt wet, that would tell me that the soil does not need water. If it's completely dry, then we desperately need water. Slightly damp is perfect, means we've caught it at the right time. Let's check to see if this tree needs some water then. And the gravel is dry to the touch, but that's not the important bit. Because it's dry, we know we need to look further. Let's push back some of the soil. The soil of this one feels a bit wetter than the other tree. Even so, it's on the damp side. It's not completely soaking, so this tree also could do with some water. If I was pressing gently and it was like a wet sponge, that tells me that this tree is okay. It doesn't need water. Slightly damp as it is means that we've caught this tree at the perfect time to be watered. Right, I'm outside now and I'm going to water this tree first. I've got my watering can and it's just a simple case of pouring water over the soil surface. Okay, as I pour water, try and watch what the water does, how it behaves. Hopefully you can see that it's simply pooling on the surface. Okay, so as the water drains, the drainage is reasonably good. It's not as bad as I thought it would be actually. I thought we were just going to see it pool on the surface and pour over the sides, but actually it's passed through the soil quite well. Okay, so that's the first pass. We'll water again to make sure it's well saturated. Sometimes the water can escape down the sides of the pot without soaking the soil, so it's important to make sure that it is fully wet through. And that's it for this tree. That was pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and water this tree next then. Same procedure. So it pooled a little bit to start with, but has gone through the pot and has drained away nicely. We'll apply a second helping just to make sure it is wet through. And there we have it. Both of these trees, because they'll be outside in the greenhouse, both of these trees now won't need watering for quite some time, but I will continue to check on them as we don't want any unexpected dry periods that will result in harm to the tree. Well, thanks for getting this far. I hope you enjoy your new Chinese elm bonsai, and I hope that these videos have given you some useful information on how to keep it healthy until the spring. In the future I'll make some more videos for you. I'll show you some of the other trees that I've got, and we'll also do some more work on these Chinese elms. We'll look at repotting them in the spring and go from there with those. I'll also make a series of videos detailing the development of some Scots pine bonsais from very young seedlings and some field maples. I've also got a collected hawthorn that'll need some work, and one or two other interesting projects in the pipeline. I hope to speak to you soon. Thanks.